everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. And I'm glad you're here to witness my last IKEA Lazy Susan until something changes. Oh, I've had this thing in my art room for a year and a half now, actually since October of 24. And this was from a set that I got that I had a lot of problems with warping. And I think out of the set of, I don't even know how many I had, 16, 20, I think half of them were warping on me, and it was a real tragic thing. And very distressing because, you know, you get through a bloom and it turns out pretty and you say, oh, I love it. And then you come downstairs the next morning and it's like flaps down, terrible. And anyway, so much for my sob story. I don't want to make anybody feel sorry for me, because you know what? It's a learning experience. If you approach everything, including the bad, as if it's a learning experience, then it's all good. So what I've done here is like with some other the Lazy Susans I had, I coated it with a coat of resin to give a seal across the top. My last YouTube video of Lazy Susans, I'll link it above. I went into a lot of detail about what my theory was about why the warping, how I arrived at this, and gave a lot of explanation. So anyway, I am on my last leg for this palette, and I'm trying to burn this paint up, and let's just get started. So let me talk about the colors real quick. This first color here is my Naples Yellow Deep. That's this one. Second color here is the Benzie Yellow from Golden. Third color is Quinacridone combined with Zeus by TLP. Beautiful color combination. This is another beautiful color combination. Golden's Iridescent Gold with Deco Arts Extreme Sheen 24 karat. Last color is really cool. This is Micaceous Iron Oxide. Now, I bought this a while ago. It was one of the first colors I bought, and I never used it but once or twice. So I saw it sitting on the shelf and looking so lonely. So I said, I'm going to give you a try. And I was nervous because this is actually got iron bits in it. I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it looks like a metallic. Well, it is a metallic, it's iron. You can even feel it, the grit, when you stir it around. Anyway, that's what I'm using for my last color down. Over here, I've got my Australian cell activator, Titanium White and Oxide Black. And this color combination has been doing me a lot of great things, so let's get started. I'm near the end here of my pillow paint, which is GLN 6011N. I scuffed up this resin. The bottom is taped. Let's see where this gets me. I can tell I'm off center already by the way it's spinning. Let's just give it a little nudge that way. And I think we're plenty good. There's actually more than enough pillow paint there. Okay, let's start. Whew. My last IKEA. All right, and this is the last of my Naples Yellow, and I sure hope I have enough here. I'm going to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. So since it takes so long to scrape this, good to the last drop, I'm going to go on fast forward here and explain something about the Lazy Susan. If you've been following me at all, you'll know I had the warping problem, and my answer was to lay down a really cheap resin that's on top there, that's scuffed up, to give a good barrier between the wood and the paint pour. So that's what I've got going on here. Bottom of the barrel. All right, we'll stop with that. That's enough. Okay. This is my benzimidazolone. Benzimidazolone yellow. All these paints are mixed with my Valspar 833124, my normal pouring medium, and MinWax semi-gloss. at a ratio of 3 parts Valspar to 1 part MinWax. And I do have a really good pouring medium video. It's video 140. I'll link it above. In that video, I show you up close how to create the pouring medium. And when I made that video, I was using Glidden 6413. The pouring medium is exactly the same now using the Valspar if you just follow the way I create it. Next color, my quinacridone combo. Booyah. Booyah. So I invite you to check out my description. I have links to some of the products I use there and links to some of my more useful tutorials, like all-in-one tutorials where I show you how a full tutorial, like I have a video 312 where I have it's older, but it is a full tutorial on how I create lazysusans. Now, I have since modified what I do there. Although what I show in that video is how I used to do it. Now what I do now is different a little bit in spots. And I'm thinking about making another tutorial. I would probably make it a private tutorial because I have had a little thing up my sleeve, a little nugget of information that I've never shared that I think could be helpful. And I've also developed some better ways of doing some of the steps as well. Micaceous oxide. Such a cool name. I need to go look up what micaceous means. I don't know what micaceous means. Huh, micaceous. I said in one video, it sounds like a name of somebody. It sounds like a cool name, like of a warrior. Micaceous. And today we have micaceous competing against some other warrior. Micaceous the Great competing against benzimidazolone. Put a little around the edge. And we're near the end of that, but that's plenty. So I got plenty of paint there. Okay, so now what I got to explain here. I'm going to be using my Berta, if I can free it. 1000-watt hair dryer with no adapter, no concentrator. This is from Amazon. It's got a cool setting, which is important. It's got a high setting and medium setting. I use high cool, and that's what's important. It's 1000 watts, so it's not like I'm not like blowing the doors off this thing. I'm just giving it a nice blowout. I'm going to clear the deck there. I always blow in that direction, so I know to not have extra stuff over there. Certainly not things that can go flying. I also have a step stool I'm going to be pulling over here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay down my cell activator. I'm going to blow it out with my mouth to get it going. And then I will blow it out with a hairdryer. Let me get this out of the way as well. I don't need to have anything blowing around. Oh, I do need my cell. Hello. All right. Cell activator, step stool. Let's make sure it's on. Okay, we're good. All right. Here we go. Hopefully, baby, come on. Turn out beautiful. Putting a little extra down because it's bigger than my coasters and it's already starting to halo. But notice how little I really do put down here. Here we go. I turned the volume down so I can talk over this, but notice I don't have any concentrator at the end of the hairdryer. I'm just blowing it out, kind of waggling my hands back and forth a little bit to try to open it up as much as I can. And I'm aiming the hairdryer right where the cell activator is meeting the paint, right where that white is hitting the paint. Actually, that time I missed it a little bit. And I'm going to blow it out all the way around until we're finished. Stop right there before you go any further. You know, You know, I used to be military police. Oh my God, look at this thing. Oh my gosh. I used to be military police, and I kind of pride myself on having a pretty good ability to observe things. Not find things, but observe and notice things. And that's, you know, look on the floor, and there's a potato bug. Get him out of here. All right, I'm going to blow in the middle real quick. And this micaceous oxide, you need to see what the effects are. It makes it look like it's been spray painted, and it's so cool. And this color looks blackish gray in here, and when it comes out here, it's brownish gray. It's so cool. So I'm blowing this out here. I want to ask you guys, if you could please leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. Even anything, if you put a heart or a hi, glad to be here. And if you can also hit the thumbs up button, that's really cool too. And if you can hype the video, that would really be helpful as well. And you hype it by, when you go to the comment section, you see the 3 ellipses on the right. Just scroll to the left, and it should bring up the hype option there. All right, I'm going to spread it to the sides. I will go on fast forward here. I'm just going to use my finger to get it to the side. So when I get ready to spin, it knows right where it needs to go. I got way more than enough paint here. Matter of fact, I might just take some off. I got way too much paint. I do not need all this paint. I don't want to have all my composition falling right off the sides. This is going to have no trouble spreading out. Yeah, way too much paint. And you know, part of it is this has been resined, so it really slides around. It's very slippery. So this paint is spreading really easy. This will be the quickest spin ever. Okay. All right. Oh, what a combo. I'm almost at the bottom of that. Don't do what I just did. Don't ever go over the top of your painting. You'll be disappointed. All right, let's give it a gentle spin. Always give it a gentle starter spin just to feel things out. I'm going to also multitask here by putting away some of my paints. Oh, and here's a little tip. I don't scrape my paints off that much into my container because I find sometimes I end up getting goobers in there. And yeah. So oftentimes, instead of just scraping the stick into the tub, I just scrape it onto a paper towel. And since this is spreading so quickly and developing so fast, I'm going to skip ahead in some sections. All right, we want to get over here a little bit. I am doing 2 things at once. I am watching. I'm going to get rid of some of these white spots. Maybe. Oh, that was better. The white spots happen because the pillow paint is essentially burping through the colors, and the way to get them out is to kind of dunk them down a little bit. And if you can't get them out here, you can always get them out after it's dry. All right, I'm going to tilt it. I'm going to stretch it that way. Get that side going more, hopefully. Get the weight of the paint onto the side that has a lot more of the negative space. But I really like that. Let's see how much we have in the middle. Oh, hardly anything. We're in good shape spin-off time-wise. Okay. One more scooch. Gentle spin, because I'm really off kilter. And then we're going to pull it back. And I think we're going to just play with the palette knife. So I have only a little negative space there and there. And there. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play with my palette knife. I'm going to drag some of this around. Where's my dog? Hello, Hazel. Hello, Hazelnut. I would show her to you, but maybe you can see her. Hazelnut. I don't want her to jump up. It'd be a disaster area. Okay, while I really like that, I'm going to stretch it out. Maybe one little scoop and drag here. I think we're done. Check out the middle one more time. I'll have to clean up some of these white spots. Really good. Clean up the bottoms. Always pull it out. Actually, let me salvage this paint. Where's my scrap bucket? I'm gonna go around, clean up the bottom, salvaging the paint for a future pillow, maybe on an ornament, and I will come back. All right, folks, I think we're gonna call this done. I'm gonna put it to bed. I'll let it sit for about 10 days at least to dry. Sitting in a spot that's not vulnerable to air, that's level, that will dry hopefully perfectly smooth. And no warping. All right, I'll be back for the final reveal. So everyone, that's a wrap, and here are the final wet results, and then of course I will show you the final resined results. And like I mentioned, I usually wait at least 10 days or 2 weeks to resin depending on humidity, and here we are. And speaking of resin, if you look in my description, I do tell you exactly which resin I do use, and there's a 10% discount code that you can use, and if you do use it and purchase resin for yourself, I get 5% back toward my future purchases, so everybody win-wins on that deal, and I would really appreciate it. And a short story here, it's been almost 2 years since Hurricane Helene wiped us out in Asheville, but since then we've been coming back strong, and I was blown away when I took this and the coaster set down to the shop, and Jackie told me that this sold that afternoon. I couldn't believe it. The good fortune that we've been having lately has been phenomenal. And if you have a moment, I'm going to show you the whole kit and caboodle with the coaster and Lazy Susan here in a second. And here I'm just going to skip up to the coasters. And if you noticed, I do a lot of sets now. I do a lot of Lazy Susans with coasters. And the funny thing is sometimes they sell as sets like this one did, and then sometimes they don't. But the good thing is either one can sell as a standalone creation for someone. If you're able to get into a store in your town, I would highly suggest that. It's been really beneficial for me. And that's all I have for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.